Okay guys, I'm back out here with the GarageWorX CNC 4x4, and I know I've shipped out most of the first production run of these, so in fact I know some of them have already been delivered, and I just wanted to get on here and kind of talk about the assembly of it. I haven't done any special assembly videos for this 4x4. It's so much like the other two, the 24x18 and the 36x24, that I didn't really feel like there was a need to do any special assembly videos, but I thought I would shoot this little video real quick to point out some of the subtle differences between this one and the other two. The other two are basically identical, just a little bigger. This one, because it has such a long span across the X, it uses two of the C channels and rails, and you can see there, you'll see when I pull the camera around here. Basically, they're both identical, so you put one on the front, and then there's another one where you put on the back. They go on the same way, same kind of the brackets, just like you would on the smaller machines. The only real difference is this boxed in, I don't know, chassis, I guess you'd call it, of the Z-axis. And I'm going to move the camera around and talk about that a little more. But before I do that, I thought while I've got the camera pointed right here, I would point out that this is a modification right here that I would highly recommend you do, and it's, you want to try to do this before you put it together. So while you're unpacking everything, take this front Z-axis plate on the side here. This is where there's the slots go on this side. If you take a center punch, line you in the center of this quarter plate here, in line with the oval slot, and mark it with a center punch. Come back and drill with a 106 drill bit, and then get yourself a 632 tap and tap a hole going through there. You're only going through like a 1/4 of an inch material or so it's not hard to go through there. And then as you put this thing together, you take these V-groove bearings and move them over, to snug this up against this Z-axis box here. And then once you get those snug down, you can take that screw and screw it in and push against it just slightly to really hold that, and then take that little nut and back it down up against this plate for a jam nut. So I've done this. I've done it to the 36x24 I have out in my shop, and I did it to this one before I ever put this one together, and it really makes a difference, because now I don't think I'll ever have to worry about any of this stuff vibrating loose and starting to get some slop. And you're not going to get any warning if you do that. So if you're in the middle of a work piece, it's going to make for a bad day, I think. So it's well worth the time to go ahead before you put this thing together, pull this plate off, do this little modification, and you'll be happy you did. Trust me. So, all right, let me move the camera around and I'll point it down the side here, and we'll talk about the way the Acme Nut works here in this one. Okay, I'm hoping this camera's got a decent enough shot of this. And as you can see, like I mentioned, there's just two C channels and then two rails that get bolted on here. They really get fastened the same way. This one, the back one, gets fastened the exact same way as the front one. You want to put these two on first before you put this box assembly on. And basically, you're putting the front Z-axis plate on here. You put the bearings on here, slide it on the first rail in the front. Put the bearings on this back Z-axis plate and slide it on here. And then you see these two plates here. I don't know if you can see the bottom one, but these plates right here are identical. You got a top and a bottom plate. So you can fasten the bottom plate on and then set the top plate on, and it kind of boxes everything in, makes it real sturdy, and makes it ride really nice on these rails. And then you have a little channel that goes right in here, and I think you can see that. Okay, now you can see the Acme Nut down there where my finger's pointing. And I fastened it to the bottom, and then I fastened it to the top. And you may or may not have to shim a little bit, depending on, the tolerance I put on this piece right here in the middle. I had to make sure it definitely fit inside here, so I made it purposely a little short. That way, if they formed it to tolerance, but it was on the high side, it would still fit in there. So, but either way, you still can bolt that in. One thing I will say the hole for the Acme nut in this little channel is not symmetrical. In other words, it's not the same distance from this side down as it is from the bottom up. So it's shorter up on the top than it is on the bottom. So when you start getting ready to put that in, make sure as you look down this hole where your motor is that everything's concentric and you can see everything lining up all the way down to that other bearing over there. Because if you have that flipped the wrong way, you're never going to get this lead screw in. It's because it would have to bend to fit. So you have to make sure that the short side is up and the longer side is down, and that's how that works. But it's really pretty simple. Like I said, it's just a few more steps other than the other two machines, but because this one's got the longer span, this really makes it rock solid as far as holding that Z up. So anyway, that's I think that's about all I've got to say about that part of it. Okay guys, that's going to do it for this video. I hope I made myself clear on how to do the X-axis rails on the 4x4. That's really the only big difference, that and the Z-box here. But it's all pretty easy. Like I said, as far as the rest of the machine, just, you know, if you need any help with that, you can just watch the other videos, the assembly videos that are on the GarageWorX CNC website. They're all pretty much the same. Everything's kind of designed the same. You know, the big difference was right here, and I just wanted to shoot this quick video today to try to clear that out. But I would recommend, I want to say this again, you know, I would recommend if those of you that have already gotten one and getting ready to put it together, go ahead and take the time to do that mod right there, because that is really a sweet little addition to this machine. So, you know, I think you should take the time to do it. If you've already got one of the machines and it's running and you haven't done that, first chance you're in between projects, you might want to take that back apart and do that. And that works for the, you know, 36 by 24 and the 24 by 18 as well. I also did it to the 36 by 24 that's out there in my shop. So it just really keeps all this from ever having to worry about it vibrating loose. So it works out really well. So that's going to do it for this one. I appreciate y'all watching. I appreciate all the new subscribers. I appreciate all the support that y'all have given GarageWorX CNC. It's really taken off, really pretty much better than I thought it would, especially the 4x4. Everybody seems to be pretty excited about that, and I know I am. This thing runs great, and I hope everybody enjoys theirs as much as I've enjoyed this one. So anyway, that's going to do it for this video. We'll talk to you next time. Thanks for watching.